Hello, our scripture reading today is from Jeremiah chapter 13. It goes like this. The Lord proclaimed to me, "Go and buy a linen undergarment. Wear it for a while without washing it." So I bought a linen undergarment as the Lord told me, and I put it on. The Lord spoke to me again. "Take the undergarment that you are wearing and go at once to the Euphrates and put it under a rock." So I went and buried it at the Euphrates, as the Lord said. After a long time, the Lord said to me, "Return to the Euphrates and dig up the undergarment that I commanded you to bury there." So I went to the Euphrates and I dug up the linen undergarments from the place I had buried it. But it was ruined and good for nothing. Then the Lord's word came to me. The Lord proclaims, "In the same way I will ruin the brazen pride of Judah and Jerusalem." This is a big challenge, this passage. So basically what Jeremiah is doing is what's called a sign act. Prophets in the Old Testament do this all the time. It's when they do something symbolic to represent their prophecy. It's sort of performance art. So Ezekiel is the king of this. He walks around Babylon with a oxen tie on his neck to symbolize the burden, and then he takes it off and says, "We'll be free." And at one point Ezekiel lies on one side of his body for 40 days and then the other side of his body to symbolize the two sides of their exile experience. So sign acts. Jeremiah here is doing a sign act. And what he does is he goes and buys a pair of underwear, essentially. And he walks around wearing his pair of underwear until they get dirty. Until God finally tells him to take it off and go bury it at the Euphrates. Now, the Euphrates is a long way from Jerusalem by foot. And so it's more likely that he just went to a local wadi or river and buried it there and called it the Euphrates as part of his sign act. But either way, he takes his underwear and he puts it in a hole. And then after a while, he goes back and digs it back up and shows everyone what happens when you dig a hole and put your underwear in it. All of it is a symbol. It's reminding them that God treated them like the most private part of our clothing, the most personal. So nothing touches us as intimate with us as our underwear, right? And God is saying that that's how he treated Israel and Judah, that they were personal, private, and intimate with God, and that they had thrown that away, like burying it in a hole, to seek their own paths. And so when Jeremiah digs it out of the hole, it's as if he's saying that this is how God feels like you've treated his relationship with you. That you've taken what should be intimate and personal and private and you've thrown it away and sullied it and made it so it's no good anymore. And this is a big challenge for us. Because how many times in a day do we treat what should be our most intimate relationship with God as if it's something disposable that we can choose to wear when we feel like it and throw away when we don't? How often do we soil that relationship? And does it ever get to a point where it's so soiled that it's not worth anything anymore? Does it ever get so holy that you have to cut the waistband off? It's a very vivid imagery. It really challenges us to think about the ways that we heap dirt onto our relationship with God and the ways that we choose other things. We dig a hole and bury it. And that's the challenge Jeremiah has for us today.